Okay, so M2. Um, as the name suggests, an M2 is involved in this method. The idea, the concept, and strategy is the same. We have a buffer. We need to shoot to a certain sticker, and all other pieces are just some setup moves away from us, that certain sticker. We do a swap, and that swap leads to a temporary swap. For example, in OP, when we swap these two, we get these two temporarily swapped, and the same happens here. The swap alg is much faster than a tperm. That's just an M2. You heard right. And just thinking about just that, I'm sure you can realize how fast, in comparison with OP, this method could be. Like, it's just so fast, and the swap alg is just an M2. So yeah, the buffer is this piece right here. So we're going to start with here, and we need to shoot to this piece. So of course, if the swap alg is this, we swap these two, and the temporary swap that happens is an M2. So I hope you can figure out what's going on. So for the temporary swap for OP was just these two corners, and the temporary swap for M2 method is just an M2. While we're doing M2, we are swapping this edge and this edge back here, along with swapping the rest of the M layer. So M2 is the temporary swap here. So we shoot to this piece, then we shoot to some other piece, we do again an M2, and again even number of swaps causes there's no temporary swap once we do even number of swaps. But if you have odd number of swaps, you will always be left with an M2 at the end, which I'll teach you in the next video how to fix that. That's the parity. So talking about the swap, we need to shoot to this piece. So we could not disrupt these two corners in OP, or these two edges in OP corners. We cannot disrupt the M layer while we are shooting any piece to over there. So if we do that, we'll of course you'll have a DNF, sad life. But yeah, just don't do that. If we want to shoot this shoot this piece to over there, or let's start with this piece to over here. It's obviously very easy to just do an L prime U, but what that does is it messes up your M layer. What you want is you just set up this piece to that particular place, and the rest of the M layer remains intact. So you can't do that because you just messed up M2, and once you do that, you'll sadly get a DNF. But yeah, the way you can shoot this piece to there is doing a U prime, L prime, U. So the M layer is still in place, and we've moved this piece over there. So now that if we do M2, we've done the swap. Now we just need to undo what we do, which we did later. So it was, so we have these two pieces swapped now, and our temporary swap, the M2 is still on. Now suppose we need to shoot to over this piece, like this sticker right here, which is N for me. Instead of doing something like this, which is just messing up the M layer, we can do U prime, R prime, U, which does not do anything with the M layer. Now we do the swap, and we undo the setup, and you can see the temporary swap is gone, and we have these two pieces swapped. So yeah, setting up the outer layer targets to this piece is really easy. Like, it's not even a thing. I assume you can figure them all out. The concept involved is you just do something with this, and then you shoot it up. So for example, if I need to shoot this to up there, I cannot do something like that. I'll do U prime, R2, U, and then shoot. Just keep in mind, you cannot disrupt the M layer. I will most probably have all the setups in the description for M2, not for OP and all that, because M2 is just a bit tricky, just a bit, like not even. I'll just do another example. To shoot this piece to over here, I can do, so I didn't mess up the M layer and I just shot 2 over there. For this piece, K for me, I can just do B prime, R prime, B. So yeah, and then just do the swap. It's really easy. You can figure out all the outer layer targets on your own. The inner layer targets is what is a bit tricky, but I'll get into that. All the inner layer targets, so basically all the inner layer targets are this one, which is C, this which is E, this one which is O, and this one which is W. For me, this is never going to be anything that's this or this, because this is where we need to this can occur, but not this one. We can never get to shoot to something to here, because this is the buffer. We just can't shoot to this or this. For this piece, both of the targets are both of them are quite easy. For this sticker, it's actually the longest. I'm not sure how long. It's like 14 moves or something. I may be wrong. For the inner layer target, this one, which is A, is the easiest swap on the cube, which is just an M2 away, like that. So this piece, just that, done. For all other M layer targets, there are certain algorithms. So let's get into, let's start with the C this letter over here, which is UF, which is C for me. The alg to shoot to this piece is U2 M prime, U2 M prime. That's it. We've shot to that, and our M layer is off by anything. So if I shoot to another random piece, say Y, you'll realize that from Y we had actually shot to C earlier. So so for C again, U2 M prime, U2 M prime. Now we'll move to W, which is this one. So the stickers which is either on the top or on the bottom, which makes C and W, are relatively easier than these two, this one and this one. So for C again, U2 M prime, U2 M prime. For W, it's actually just the inverse of that, M U2 M U2. So for C it was U2 M prime, U2 M prime, and for W it is just the inverse, so M U2 M U2. Yeah, so for C, once again for C, U2 M prime, U2 M prime, and I hope I'm not irritating you, so yeah. Sorry. Now we move to this piece. So this is an alg you might want to write down somewhere and remember. So for the alg for this is D M prime, UR to U M prime, UR to U M M D prime. Wait, did I mess it up? M D prime M2. I messed it up. Just a sec. Okay, once again, I hope I can do it slow. D M prime, UR to U M, UR to U D prime M2. That's it. Not once again. I'll just show you like that. So E, once again, shooting to E is D M prime, UR to U M prime, UR to U M, no M prime, yeah M prime, D M2. That's it. So just a second. Yeah, done with E. Now we'll move to O, which is exactly the inverse of it. So it's M to D, UR to U prime, M prime, UR to U prime, M D prime. Once again, for O, it is M to D, UR to U prime, M prime, UR to U prime, M D prime. Okay, one very important thing you need to keep in mind while doing, okay, I just forgot M. So for M it is BRB. Wait, for M, which is back here, we do BRB, B r b prime, u r to u prime m2, u r to u prime, b prime r prime b. Once again, for m, we do brb prime, u r to u prime m2, u r to u prime, b r prime b prime. No, b prime r prime b prime. That was it. Okay. Okay. To avoid confusion, I'll show it one last time. B r b prime, u r to u prime m2, u r to u prime, b prime r prime b. Okay. So wait. Whatever. So there's one really important thing you need to keep in mind while you're shooting to M layer targets. So I'll recommend memorizing the targets in letters of 2, so you can like get to know when you need to make sure of this certain fact. So while you're shooting to a M slice target, you need to make sure you are not off by an M2. So for example, if I did I executed a target and had an M2 off, then I did another target and had M2 off, which gave me back, and after the third, then I did a third piece and again had an M2 off, and then I had an a target which is on the M slice. Say it was W, which is back here, but right now our the M slice is off by an M2. So where the W actually should be, it's not there. So wherever the W was, now the C is there. So W has moved to C. That's something that might be tricky in the beginning, but yeah, W is right now in place of C because we are off by an M2. If we weren't, that was the place you would have shot to. But since we are off by an M2, since this is the even nth target, we need to shoot to exactly opposite of that target. So for W, the opposite is C. For C, of course, it's W. For E, it's O, and for O, it's E. So just in case you have an M2 off, you need to shoot to E. You'll not actually shoot to E, you will shoot to what's actually O. So that's something you need to make sure in the beginning. But yeah, for M, it doesn't matter if you're off by an M2 or not. M is executed the same way. So yeah, that's the basic concepts behind M2, and this video is stretching really long, and as I expected it to be. I'll quickly do an example and wind this video off. So I'm in my orientation. The buffer is right here. Memo is R N V V H C F Y B. So we move back to the buffer now. For R, they're basically you can do something like this. What I actually do for R is fat U, L prime U, M2 undo. Solves that. We're off by an M2 now, and the next target was N, which is back here. Okay. V, for V, I can just, which is down here, I can just do U prime, R to U, M2. Again, we are off by an M2. H, which is really easy, you do a U, do the swap and bring it back. Next is C. C is again an inner layer target, so we need to make sure we are not off by an if we are off by an M2 or not. So this is, since this is the odd number target, M2 is in its place, so we can actually execute it the actual way. We need not worry about if we need to shoot to W or C. So it's C, so we'll actually move to C. The algo is U to M prime, U to M prime, F, which is right here, M2, undo, Y, which can be solved by doing this setup, doing the swap and doing setup like that. Finally, B can be solved by, for B, what I do is I make it temporarily F like that and solve it that way, and do the setup and move it back up. So it the setup basically becomes something like this. That. That's it. So yeah, we're done with edges and you are really progressing quite well. One last thing that is left is some evils that might occur up in a 3BLD solve: corner twists, uh, edge flipped edges, parity cycle breaks, and we're going to talk about them in the next video. So yeah, see you.